In this particular video, I want to share with you some of the mindset strategies that I use to help me. So one of the things is understanding that when I die, no one's going to care. The reason I know that to be true is because when I don't show up on social media for a week or 2 weeks, most of the people don't even notice, like, because they don't message me. No one says, "Oh, where are you? Where have you been?" Like, no one really says that. And even my close friends, they'll be sad, but then they'll move on, right? And ultimately, everyone does move on. And you see that with celebrities. Like, when celebrities pass away, people just don't care after that, right? The reason I'm sharing that is because the only real consequences in life are social. If you think about it, the reason why you don't want to downsize your house is because of how you're going to be perceived by your friends, by your peers. You don't want people to know that you're not doing that well in life. And I know this to be true because when I was starting out online, I remember working every day, like 12-hour days, and I wasn't making any money. And my auntie came into the house and she asked me, "Oh, how's your business going, Aaron?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's great." Obviously, it wasn't great. I wasn't making any money. It wasn't a business. But if I was to explain what was actually going on, she wouldn't even be able to understand. And also that opens the door for her to give me unsolicited advice, which is not even advice that I would have taken. But it just opens the door to doubt, right? Because when she's trying to tell me what to do and doubting what I'm doing, then it's going to make me doubt what I'm doing, even though I don't want to doubt it, if that makes sense. So the reason I share that is because no one really cares anyway, right? Like, if you die, your family would be sad. If I died, my family would be sad, right? But outside of that, no one really cares, right? But the social implications of that is huge, because that's the only consequence of doing this, right? So whatever it is you want to do in your life, that's the only consequence, is social. So, for example, let's say for me, let's say I stopped training jiu-jitsu, right? And that helps my life, helps me be more focused with making money, with my business, with my wealth goals, and helps me pack on more muscle because I'm not training jiu-jitsu. I'll be doing more strength training. If I do that, the consequence of that action would be social. I would lose I wouldn't lose my friendships, but I would not be as close to the people in jiu-jitsu as I am. So you got to think about it in that sense too. Like, I have to think about that. So yeah, so the only consequence is social in everything. We're all so terrified of being judged. And, you know, it's not about, it's like you got to find a way to drown out the noise. This is advice to myself, because everyone's judging themselves, but they're projecting it onto other people. So you're judging me right now, maybe, I don't know, but whatever you see and you're judging in me is just you judging yourself. And so this took me a long time to understand this concept, but once I did, I realized that I judge myself more than I think people are judging me. So it's literally me versus me, but I'm using other people as the judgment thing that I'm judging them for. Right, and I see it now because I'm so aware of it. I can notice when other people are judging themselves. It's like if you stand up on stage in front of thousands of people, there's going to be like one thing you think about. Maybe someone's judging you, right? They're judging your appearance, but you think they're judging so much about you. Like, you can think of like 5 different things that they're judging you for, and then if you were to ask the audience, they'll be judging you for like 1 or 2 things. So really, that shows you that you're judging yourself, right? But you think everyone else is judging you, if that makes sense. So, like, for example, some guy's like, "Oh, I don't like my love handles. I'm sure you saw my love handles, right?" I'm like, "No, I didn't even notice." But he's judging himself, right? So that's why he's so self-conscious. And so the reason I share that is because understanding that everyone's judging themselves really liberates me, because I'm like, oh, everyone's fucked up. Everyone's hiding their shit. So this liberates me to just talk about my stuff. And that's what I want to share. That's what I want to share in this video. Yeah, I've got some notes here. What do I really want? Why am I here? These are really good questions to ask, because a lot of people, they don't know why they really want a six-pack. They don't really know why they want a flat stomach. They don't really know why they want to get toned and more ripped and build lean muscle. So what do you really want? What do you really want? Like, what do you really want? And that's the biggest question that I think we'll have in life is, what do you want? So for me, like, what do I want? Why do I want it? Right? So first of all, it's what do you want? And then second question is, why do you want it? Those are the two most important questions in our entire lifetime. Otherwise, you're just going around like, you don't even know what you want. And I can relate to this because this has been my experience, right? Like, I've gone through moments where I'm like super clear on what I want, like 100%, this is what I want. And then I've been in moments where I'm like, you know what, I'm not sure if I want that. And like, and everything was like that in my life. Like, yeah, I'm not sure if I want that girl. I'm not sure if I want her. I'm not sure if I want this business or this or this or this. I'm not sure about anything. And I've been in that space as well. And coming out of that space, it's really getting more clear on what do I want? And just sitting with that question, like, what do I want in every area of my life? And what am I not willing to settle for? And what am I willing to be okay with? And so then from there, it's like, why do I want that? Because if I say I want it, but I don't do the work to get it, that means I don't really want it. So for example, great example, right? Felix Dennis, he said, well, there's only two things here, but he said three things. But he said there's only three reasons why. There's only three things to do to get rich, right? Like mindsets. It's like, I want to be rich, but I have other priorities. That's one reason why you wouldn't get rich. And another one is, I don't want to be rich. Okay, that's another. That's great. You don't want to be rich. That's fine. And the third one is, I want to be rich, but I'm stupid. But that's an excuse. So I don't have all three here, but basically, I want to be rich, and it's my number one priority, right? That's what I said to myself at the start of the year. And just openly sharing that hasn't come to fruition. And I'm looking back at it now, I'm like, why hasn't that happened this year? And the reason why is because, being honest with myself, it wasn't actually what I really wanted. Because if it was, I would have got it. It's like, if I really want a drink of water right now, I'm going to go and get one. That's how simple it is. It's the same concept with your goals, with my goals. It's like, if I really wanted it, I would have it. Like, I really wanted this studio, so I got it, right? I really wanted to live in this part of the world, in Bali, so I'm here. So everything that I've really wanted, I have. So all the things that I don't have, that I say I want, do I really want them? And that's an interesting thought to ponder, because you're sitting there right now watching me or listening to me. If you really wanted what you say you want with your health goals, like you want a flat stomach, you want a bigger booty, or if you're a guy, you want to get ripped, you want to increase your testosterone, you want to have more muscle, you want to have a six-pack, you want to get bigger legs, or you want to build bigger arms, or whatever it is for you, right? Or you just want to have extreme levels of fitness, or you want to start training jiu-jitsu, whatever it is for you. If you really wanted that, you would already have it. Now, you're probably going to push back on me on that, and I understand that, because it's not... The truth is hard to swallow when you're choking on your pride, right? And the truth at first will piss you off, and then it will set you free. So I understand that for some people listening, maybe you listening, it might piss you off saying that, right? Like, you don't really want it. And you know what? The story is, when I was in Thailand earlier this year, I went to visit my mentor, my first mentor. And he asked me a question. He said, would you rather have $10 million right now and not have to do any work for it? Or would you rather build a company, put sweat equity into it, and after 3 years, you get $10 million? And my gut instinct was the 3 years, $10 million, right? Because of my mind was optimizing for fulfillment rather than the money right now, right? So he said to me, that shows him that I didn't want money, right? I didn't want to be rich. That's what he said. And I was like, no, I do. But that's just my ego, right? Like, if I'm actually being honest with myself, looking back at this past year, if I said I want to be rich and it's my number one priority, then I wouldn't have done certain activities, right? I wouldn't have prioritized health so much so that I didn't have time to make money, right? Like, my health's already good. Like, I know how to maintain it very minimally, but I was going extra hard in health. So it's like, I know how to maintain my health so it doesn't decline and still have the time to generate wealth. But what I was doing was going harder in my health, and then I had little time to focus on wealth, right? So my actions actually showed me that I didn't actually want to get rich. And that's a tough pill to swallow for me, because I said that I wanted to get rich. But some part of me didn't believe that, because if I believed it, then I would do the work, right? If I really believed that it was possible, like, it's possible, I know it's possible for me, right? And when I say rich, I mean like multiple millions, right? So just to clarify. But the fact that I wasn't doing the actions to get there means that I didn't believe that I could do it at some level, and that's subconscious, right? Because I was overthinking things, and overthinking is just a sign that you don't really want it. Like, you don't want it, because everything that you want, you get. So like right now, let's say I want a burger. I'm going to go and get a burger, right? No resistance to it. Whatever you want, you can get. Like, if you want a pizza right now, you can get pizza. If you want a steak right now, you can go and have a massive, juicy steak, 400-gram ribeye. You can have that. You can go and get it, right? So if you really wanted it, you'd get it. You'd have it. That is such an important point for me personally, is understanding that, okay, I'm saying all this stuff, but my actions ain't matching. So do I really want it? Okay, now, how do I get to the place where I really want this? And one of my friends, he shared with me a method. He said, write down 100 reasons why. 100 reasons why you want this thing, whatever it is for you, right? So it could be getting a six-pack, or leaning down to your ideal body weight and maintaining a lean physique, muscular physique for the rest of your life. 100 reasons why you want that. Because if the goal is eluding you constantly, either you don't really want it, or you're just not clear on why you want it, okay? Or both, or both. And so for me, that's what I got to do with money. Like, I started doing this exercise, and I got into 37 reasons why I want to make millions and millions of dollars. And I'm sharing this because I'm not a saint, right? Like, I don't have the crystal ball for everything. I figured out how to lean down to my ideal body weight. I've figured out some things in health. I'm sharing that. But I'm also sharing where I'm not so strong in my life, to help you realize that, hey, I'm just a human being, and I have shit to deal with in my life too, where I'm not so strong and my mindset needs work. So these mindset principles I'm sharing with you can be applied to any area of your life. Okay, so it's like the same concept with relationships. Oh, I want a loving relationship. I want to find my other half. I don't agree with the other half concept, but let's go with that. I want to find my one. I also don't agree with that, but I just want to find the person that's compatible with me, right? And I want to get married. I want to have kids. Okay, well, do you actually want that? Like, do your actions match up with what you're saying? And do you have 100 reasons why you want that? And are you super clear on that? Is that actually what you want? Because if you want it, within a year or 2 or 3, you will get it. And so, yeah, just understanding that, man, I got to really control my brain and focus on what I want, and get the reasons, get really clear on why I want it, and then it will come into my reality. So, and that involves giving up things, right? So I only have so many hours in the day, but if I'm spending 4 hours a day on my physical training, I don't need to spend 4 hours a day physical training. But currently, I'm not doing that right now, but jiu-jitsu takes an hour and a half, right? And then sometimes I work out as well. So that's another hour. And then you got like commuting time. So that's like 3 hours, Monday through, well, not Monday through Friday, but, 3 days a week, physical training. Out of my work day, let's say my work day is 8 hours. So 3 of those hours are taken up by physical training. Now, the question is, how can I condense that down so I can only have like 30 minutes to do my physical training, stay in shape, maintain my health, and also have more time to create wealth? So that's a decision I have to make, because if I don't make that decision, that means I'm just valuing my health more than money, right? And I'm not like most people, where most people, they just completely fuck off their health in pursuit of money, right? Dalai Lama said, the craziest thing about man is he pursues wealth and in the detriment of his health, and then he pursues health in the detriment of his wealth, or something like that, right? And so I'm lucky now to be in a position where I want to build more wealth. So now I can just put my health on autopilot and go and build more wealth. But like I said, that's a decision that I have to make, right? Like I remember I was in one of my mentor's houses, and I was working out, and he had just come in the gym, and he said, hey, I said, oh, you were working out. I can see you were working out. Your stuff's here. And he's like, yeah, I just went to put on a trade, and it's going up now. So I just put on a trade, and I was like, oh, okay. And I continued working out. I got back outside after the workout, and he just made 40% on this particular trade. And he was like, dude, I told you as I walked in that I just put money on this trade, and you continued working out. So therefore, you don't really want to make money, because I just told you what I just did to make money, and you're still working out. Therefore, your priority is not money, it's health. And I was like, fuck. He was right. I can't deny that. My actions were speaking louder than my words. And so even though I told him, I'm like, hey, I want to make money. I want to make loads of money. I want to make millions. My actions were saying otherwise, because that wasn't my number one priority. And so that's why I'm sharing that with you, because I just had to get clarity for myself and be brutally honest with myself about my goals and why I'm not where I want to be, and just get clear on, like, oh shit, I didn't actually want it. So how do I start getting myself to actually want it, right? And that's where I'm at now. It's like, all right, how do I actually set wealth as my priority? Well, I got to be willing to let shit go, to let some things go, because I can't get there with my current regime right now, right? I need to change something, and something needs to go, right? Sacrifice. So what needs to go? Maybe it's jiu-jitsu. That's the biggest thing that I see. Because if I, for example, right now, I'm just sharing candidly, if I don't train jiu-jitsu, I'm still going to go and weight train, and I'll still be okay. I didn't train jiu-jitsu until 2 years ago, and before that I was fine. Like, I was weight training, I was fine, right? And also the knowledge that jiu-jitsu is really fucking hard, and it also cost me more money too. Like, that's another thing, but it's not that much, but it's still money, right? And yeah, it's time at the end of the day. It's time invested, and is the time invested returning me back what I want out of that time invested? And I don't know if it is actually right now. So maybe that would be the thing that would have to be tapered down. But yeah, so as you can see, this is this is the real shit, right? Like, you have to give something up if you want to get to the next level. And I'm just sharing honestly, because this is part of my journal and part of me getting clarity for myself. And my mentor always told me, I have many mentors, right? He told me, it's the stuff you don't want to speak about, which is the stuff you should be speaking about. And I thought that was so beautiful, because you see it now on podcasts, right? Like, people are talking about their mental health battles and all this stuff, because that's the shit that everyone struggles with, but no one talks about. So now people talk about it. Now people don't feel so alone in this world, right? Because we all struggle with this shit. But when you go on Instagram, you see everyone having fun, and you're like, oh, fuck, everyone's having an amazing time. But no, it's not like that all the time. And even if you make loads of money, you're still you're still a human being. You know what I'm saying? So we all have problems, man. And the grass isn't greener. Like, the grass is only greener when you water it. I just checked a guy just now. He's pissed off. He woke up this morning, pissed. Check this out. This guy woke up this morning pissed off because his sales team missed 3 sales yesterday, and he's only at $790,000 for the month, and they should have closed those 3 sales. So to put him at 800 and something thousand. So he's woken up angry and frustrated and unhappy. That is how crazy the world we live in is. It's like, you have to understand happiness and your emotions and controlling your mind, because people like that, right? Dude's making $1 million a month, and he's fucking not happy. So It's just that more formula, the more syndrome, right? And so that's why I'm focused on building these roots, so that when I get to $1 million a month, I'm already happy, but getting more increasing my happiness, right? And so, yeah, I just wanted to share that and thought you would find some value in this video. Yeah, you got to control your brain, man, and your number one job is to believe in yourself. So that's it. Self-belief is the key. That's everything. And I got this from my client, my lion self. So you got your sheep and your lion, right? So everyone's got two people that live inside of them. So you got like the pussy part of you, which is like the one who's always doubting things and scared. For me, it's doubtful, scared, resentful, and selfish. Those are the 4 words for my sheep, right? The lesser self. And then my lion self, my ideal, my greatest version of myself is loving, confident, courageous, and patient. Okay, so I like to think that when I'm doing these videos, I'm in my lion. I'm being loving, I'm being confident, I'm being courageous, and I'm being patient. So that is concluding this video. Convince yourself that what you want is possible and inevitable. Step into the feeling of having what you want. I got so many notes, right? But yeah, that's really important to note. Okay, so stop caring about what other people think of you. Everyone's judging themselves and they're projecting it onto you. And control your own brain and believe in yourself. And ask yourself, what do I want? Why do I want it? Write out 100 reasons why you want that thing. I'm going to do that work as well. And I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Aaron. If you're listening, I hope you enjoyed. And I'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.